new student volunteer missions movement that I believe the Lord has released in America. This is what I'm here to recruit you for. In 1886, there's a guy named Dwight L. Moody, D.L. Moody, who was one of the most famous preachers of all time out of Chicago. He held a Bible study conference of collegiate chapters of the YMCA at Mount Hermon, Massachusetts. Let me just read you what the old one was. 250 men from 87 colleges met for a month. A student named Robert Wilder, who had founded the Princeton Foreign Missionary Society, he arranged a special set of meetings on missions, and Arthur T. Pearson spoke to the students and encouraged them to evangelize the world in their generation. 100 students at the conference volunteered to serve in overseas missions. The next school year, Robert Wilder and John Foreman of Princeton, hang with me for a minute because I got to lay this foundation, all right? Robert Wilder and John Foreman of Princeton traveled to 167 different schools, sharing the vision of world evangelization. 2,106 more students volunteered for missions work. Within 2 years of the Mount Hermon Conference, over 5,000 students had signed the simple pledge, "It is my purpose, if God permit, to become a foreign missionary." In 1888, the student volunteer movement was formally organized, and John R. Mott, one of the original Mount Hermon, was chosen as chairman. Evangelization of the world in this generation became the society's watchword. Within 5 years of the Mount Hermon Conference, there were 6,200 student volunteers from 352 schools in U.S. and Canada. By 1945, a total of at least 20,500, so this started again in 1886. By 1945, over 20,000 student volunteers had reached the mission field. Not just people who had said, "This is my desire," but don't follow through. Over 20,000 students followed through on their pledge and landed on the mission field. After that, it began to morph into some other things, and InterVarsity Christian Fellowship and some different things began to come out of it. But the Lord began to speak to us, and he spoke through Cindy. He said, "I'm releasing a new student volunteer missions movement." I believe this is true. I believe that what we're in right now is a new student volunteer movement. I don't necessarily believe that everybody is going to go overseas. I do believe that it is more focused on what we prayed tonight, the 7 mind molders. But that the Lord is once again recruiting student volunteers to give themselves for the evangelization of the world in one generation. And I believe that he's releasing it again, and that he's recruiting, that right now the Lord's going through America and he is recruiting once again student volunteers who will be giving themselves to this thing.